Greetings and welcome everyone to what will be a fairly brief update video regarding the tournament. There has been a slight snag in the way that the friends list makes available the enemy ships for me to import, and as a result we're going to have to change the way that I accept the entries for the tournament. Now I'll quickly go over the main problem, and I should have realised this, really, specifically given this, that I've got 7 different fleets. Now, they'll show up available for me to import, but every person on my friends list who plays Reassembly only has 1 entry. Now, I never really thought about it, but it seems very unlikely they've only got 1 fleet, and in fact, in many cases, I know they don't. But it'll only ever show up 1. And from what I can tell, it's either the last fleet that you played with or the last fleet that you took through a wormhole. As a result, there are numerous people who I happen to know have entries for the tournament because I've seen them previously whilst just glancing through prior to recording, that are no longer available for me to get hold of. Now, for those specific people that I happen to know have made entries for the tournament, I could simply ask them to log on to that fleet for a day and to give me time to pull those ships into the tournament and record it. However, it's the ones that I don't happen to know have their fleets prepared. Because, for example, Casper Wilson, initially, another fleet was visible to me. Even though he had quite specifically asked me to include his fleet, and I was like, well, I can't actually find your ship. I can't see the one that tagged, and he even sent me a screenshot of the ship, so I knew exactly what I was looking for. But it was a completely different fleet that was showing up, and after some trial and error, we worked out that it seems to be the last one that you had active that gets uploaded to the cloud, and it takes a little bit of time for that then to filter down through the cloud so that I can actually see which one I'm meant to be importing. So, given this, and given that I know a lot of people are really looking forward to the tournament, and as it stands, it's an ever-shifting sort of thing. If I were to record right now, I think I would have 6 people in the tournament, or 6 different ships, that is, even considering that one person would have 2 from their fleet. And if I were to record in about 5-6 hours, I might have a very different array of ships available. Given that, I think we need to go to a more steady, more stable delivery method for you to get your ships to me for entry into the tournament. Ideally, I would like between 16 and 32. Well, that is 16 or 32, so that we've got full brackets. Ideally 32. I would quite like to have a bit of a longer tournament and to record a longer episode, though obviously the disclaimer there is if it got too long, I would split it into 2 longer episodes rather than 1 really long episode. But I think 32 is a good number. It will give us a lot of stuff to look at, and I want 32 different players ships in the tournament, just to have a bit of variety, see what people can come up with. So the way I think would be best for us to do this would be for the ships to be emailed to me. Now, if you don't know, my email is available on my channel's About page. That is my YouTube channel's About page. If you head over there, there's a little button that says for business use only, and if you click on that, it'll display my email. It's only hidden underneath that to avoid any sort of spam bots, that kind of thing. But you're more than welcome to use that to get in touch, and specifically to send me your reassembly ships. Now, again, just to cover the requirements of the ships, the point value needs to be 3,000 with 10% either side, so it can be 10% less, 10% more, and it'll still be acceptable. But if you do send me an entry that is above that, even if it's by 1 point, because you've got to kind of draw the line somewhere, then I will dismiss it. I'll get in touch with you and I'll ask you to send me another, but assuming that more than 32 people send me ships, then I'll just go with the next person on the list. So do try to be clear on the point value there. So it's 3,000 with plus 10% either side. And hopefully I'll be able to get this tournament recorded very soon and uploaded soon as it's recorded. But that is it for this little update video. I do hope to see you all in the tournament, or at least as many of you as I can fit into a single tournament. And if we have a lot of people who are interested, I doubt we're going to have 64, but if we did, then I would record 2. We'll see how that goes, but that's it from me. So until next we meet, take care.